Today's session is going to be empowering employee, vendor, and client collaboration using Zoho Finance Suite. So it's more of like, bringing it all together and wrapping it up. So I know like you would have had like good 2 days of session learning about the various finance and the operations app. So now we'll see how you can contextually collaborate with the Zoho Finance Suite. So that's what we'll be seeing in today's session. So the agenda for that would be like, we'll see like why we need a more connected system, what's contextual collaboration, and we'll go through a few use cases. Okay, so it's not like I'm not going to show you product. I'll show you like use cases where you can use all the integrations that we have to contextually collaborate. So why is there a need for a more connected system? So here in today's world, right, we all use like multiple apps. It has made our life easier, business processes more efficient, but still there are like a few gaps which needs to be addressed. Some of them are like, we all juggle between multiple apps. So say for example, in my day-to-day life, I have to see my email, then there is the chat channel that keeps going on. There's the desks that I have to look into to see like what the customers are saying about. Then there's CRM, there's like multiple apps that we keep switching between. So then there are sometimes the context is lost when I'm like moving from one app to another, right? So that's one big issue that's there. The next one is no visibilities across different teams and departments. Say if you take the case of a support team, they all just work on say a Zoho desk platform. So they might not know like what is happening in the warehouse or what is the sales team talking to. So all of these information like is not like contextually passed from between one team to other. Though they might be sending text messages and all, but still all this information is not passed seamlessly. The next part is information of overload and lack of context. So I know there are like multiple chat conversations that keeps going on, and keeping track of like what information is for what becomes like a big headache, right? So that's another problem. And then customers are not empowered to self-service. So nowadays, like we all like want to like, not talk to people, right? So we just want to message and see what happens. So self-service is another important thing. So we will see how contextual collaboration helps in solving all these problems, and how Zoho Finance is giving you all the right tools to do this. So generally for any business, right, there are multiple stakeholders that are involved. Say there are the employers and the employees, and then inside when we say employees, there are also multiple teams that comes in, and then you have your accountant on one hand, then there are vendors, customers. So how are we going to empower each of these individual stakeholders to communicate better and like work efficiently? So what's contextual collaboration? It's basically having all the right information at the right place and the right time. So with keeping contextual collaboration in heart is what we have built Zoho Finance. So in Zoho Finance, right, this entire platform or the product set has been built ground up for the distributed teams. So if you see connectivity, contribution, and communication, so these are the 3 pillars that we keep in mind when we built Zoho Finance. And also this is like the next best thing that you can do, that doing a face-to-face conversation. So all of these come together, so it was not built as an afterthought. So everything we thought like, it should all come together seamlessly and you should be able to communicate efficiently. So for this session, we want to look at like customer-centric, vendor-centric, and employee-centric process. So without any further delay, let's get into some of the use cases and we can discuss how it goes. So first I want to talk about the customer-centric process. So here we'll be seeing like some use cases from a B2B perspective, B2C, and also from a customer services perspective. So going to the B2B, so first I want to discuss about the quote to cash process. This is something which happens in all our organizations, right? So from the sales team reaching out to a prospect up to then making them make the purchase. So let's see how this happens using the different products that we have in Zoho Finance and the integrations that we have. So prospecting. So generally, right, so how do the customer reach out to us? So maybe they come to our website, fill in a form, and then the salesperson comes in and then they create an estimate. So once the estimate is created, so initially what you'll do, so you'll fill in the customer information on Zoho Books, then you'll create an estimate for them. While doing that, you can also enable the customer portal. Once this is done, So once you enable the customer portal, the negotiations can happen seamlessly from the customer portal, and your salesperson can talk to them from Zoho Books. So here I can enter a comment, say for example, I am asking for an additional discount, so they can just go to the portal, they can see all the estimate that has been created for them, and inside the estimate they can put in the comment. So and the salesperson can look at it in the Zoho Books, so they can either agree to it or not, and then they can respond back. And if the customer accepts the estimate, they can also do it from the customer portal. So they need not email you or call you back to get that done. And next thing, so they can also do internal discussion. This was something Unni was talking about earlier as well, right? So with the Zoho Click integration, you can talk contextually within your team. Say for example, so a customer has come in and he has asked for say 100 units. So you're not very sure whether it's available in your warehouse or not. So you need to talk to your warehouse team. So without having to, so when I'm using this Click integration that's there, so from within the estimate, I can just go click on Click, and what happens is that estimate details is automatically available inside the chatlet. So I not even tell them it's for estimate number 003. It's automatically pre-filled. All that you have to say is can you tell me if it's available? Because even in the warehouse person can also check the comment section as well, where the customer might have mentioned that they want the specific number of units. So you need not type a lot of things. So you just open up the Click and then you send this information, and then they can look at it, and then they can answer whether it's possible or not. Next, and on follow-up and payment. So how do I complete the order, get the money, right? So here we have options to configure many automated reminders can be set up. And also if from the CRM you are following up with your customer, the CRM information is also contextually available within that particular invoice. So inside the invoice, I can click on the CRM integration button, and then I'll be able to see when did the sales guy last talk to them, and what is the status of the payment. So all of this information they can also see from here. This is one of the example of how your employees as well as your customers are empowered to collaborate with each other. So the next use case that I want to talk about is in terms of project management. So we all know there is the projects module that is available within Zoho Books. So here you will be able to say when some new project comes in. So you create the project name, and then you also mention who are the people who are going to be working on the project, and as well as you can mention what is the cost details and other things as well. So once that is done, coming to the time logging, so every person who's working on the project, so they can come in, and then when they are starting the task, they can start logging time. So either they can log the time manually, or there is also a timer that is available. So whenever they are working on a specific project, they can click on start and stop, so that the time is automatically captured. So once the they have done this, the next step is your timesheets gets created. So you need not send the timesheets manually to your customers anymore. So again, I was mentioning there is the customer portal. So inside the customer portal, they can view their projects and the timesheets as well. So they will be able to see what are the projects that the merchant is doing for you, as well as they can see the different timesheets. And here, in the case of timesheets, you can also set multiple approval levels as well. So you can set up an approval flow for your manager, and also an approval flow can also be set up for the customer side. So the timesheet the customer will be able to see, and then they can either say they can approve or they can reject, and the process is complete. And from a manager perspective, they will also be able to see what are the reports on the projects, what is the cost, profitability, and other summaries they'll be able to see. The next one is about the customer. Let's see about the subscription management. So all of these use cases that I am discussing right now mainly has to do with all the customer side facing things. So here, when someone is selling subscription products, so you can create various subscriptions, you list it on the website. So people pick which is the product that they want to subscribe to, and they make a purchase. So when they make a purchase, there are different notifications that you can configure from confirmation, when is the next renewal, all of these information which will again be sent to your customers. And apart from this, there is also a customer portal that is available for your subscription management. So here they will be able to see what is the total period of subscription, when is the next renewal coming up, whether they want to, pause the subscription or even cancel. So here they need not reach out to you to manage all of these things. They can do it themselves in the customer portal. And even for cancellation reasons, you can also not only there is a default option that is available. In case you want to get the specific information about why they would like to cancel, so that can also be captured here. So next use case, I also want to touch upon online ordering. So even in Zoho Commerce, we have a customer portal, that is member portal, that is available. So when a customer makes a purchase, they will be able to see all their order history inside the Zoho Commerce customer portal. So this is like a different customer portal that is there for customers who are placing orders online. So from here, they will be able to see what are the past orders, what is the status of their order, whether it's shipped or not, and they can also, manage their cancellations and requests from within Zoho Commerce as well. So with the customer portal, in case, if there are any specific price that needs to be mapped, so when they're logging into the customer portal, that particular price is what they will see the pricing in the website. So that also works. Finally, coming to the customer support for the customer-centric process. So already Unni was mentioning about the desk integration that we have. So as desk integrates with books, billing as well as inventory. So here you can go in for each and every ticket that's there for the particular customer. You will be able to see all the invoices or estimates. And in case of if there is an inventory integration, you will be able to see the shipping status and everything that will be available within the desk itself. So your support person need not have access to say, go into Zoho Books or inventory for this. They can see all the information that is needed for them to give that assistance to the customer from desk itself. And apart from this, they can also raise, you can create estimate, invoice and sales order. If say in case your salesperson also uses desk, and if you want to create a sales order, if some request comes in, they can also do it from here. You need not go into books or inventory to do that. Next, so getting the feedback from customers are also equally important, right? So in both the books customer portal that is there, or the inventory, wherever there is customer portal, you can the employee can send a request for them to give the rating. So that will be seen inside the customer portal. They can go and give you rating as well as they can give you a feedback. Similarly, in the Zoho Commerce customer portal as well, you can just go give ratings and reviews for the products that are listed on the website. And obviously, we also have integration with Sales IQ, like was mentioned in the last session. So the Sales IQ integration can be enabled within the customer portal. So you can, so either they can chat through comment section, but if not, if they also want to get real-time, assistance, they can use Sales IQ. And your employees can directly chat with the customers to give them the required support. Sales IQ integration is also available with Zoho Commerce as well. So from the website, people can also chat with you to get the required assistance. So coming to the vendor-centric process, we saw about the customer portal. Now let's look at the vendor portal that we have. So let's look at the purchase process. So generally it involves we'll see the warehouse team checks what is the stock keeping levels that is available. Then we'll look at that. So we'll look at the process where the warehouse team is checking what are the stocks available and how they go about making the purchase process. So the next step would be is to discuss budget. Say for example, a new order has come in and they need 500 shoes or something of that sort. So but they need some approval to make the purchase from the finance team. So here also, as I was mentioning earlier, say from estimate or invoice, you can also raise a click chat from within the purchase module as well. So in Zoho Inventory, we have the purchase module, right? So here you can go from a purchase order, you can contextually start chatting with say maybe your finance team. You can enable the chat and then automatically all the information related to this purchase order will be populated in the chat, and you can ask them whether you can go ahead with making, raising this PO. And Similarly, so as I was mentioning earlier, there is a vendor portal. So if you want to like chat with your vendor on certain things, so the vendor can also like add comments. So the same comments will appear inside the purchase order within your inventory organization. So you can make the two-way conversation, and then once the price is all agreed, then you can go ahead and make the payment. So once you make the payment information, say the invoices as well as the bills and the purchase order, the vendor will be able to see it from their vendor portal. So you can go enable your vendor portal from within, from the vendor information that you're maintaining, right? So from the vendor information, you can go open it up, or you can enable it for them. Finally, I want to talk about the employee-centric process. So here, how are we empowering our employees, right? So for this trip that I came from India to Austin, right? So how did I go through the expense process? So I need not talk to anybody. So I just raised a trip request. This automatically goes to my travel team, and the travel team makes the necessary, books the ticket as well as my accommodation, and they let me know. In case if they need some additional information from me, again, from within the expense portal itself, we can again, initiate the chat conversation. And maybe if I'm missing some information, they need some data from me, I can type it from here, and then they get that. Similarly, like all of the expense management and reimbursements also happens directly from Zoho Expense, and I'll be notified every time if there is any changes there. And finally, on other stakeholders process, so I'll want to touch upon two things mainly. One is the accounting specific role. So Zoho Books has accounting specific role. So when you want to add your accountant to your books organization, and if you give them this access, so automatically, they will be able to see all the relevant information that they will need to do their accounting. And similarly, if you want to, send out specific reports to your investors, report scheduling is also possible. So once you can set it up, like when you want to send it out and who's the recipient, the reports will also get sent to them. Thank you so much.